In the grim darkness of the far future, the Orks of Warhammer 40,000 are a savage, war-hungry species whose presence threatens the galaxy. But beneath their brutish exteriors lies a dark and intriguing origin, deeply rooted in the machinations of ancient, long-forgotten powers. Unlike most life forms, Orks were bioengineered by a race known as the Old Ones, as a living weapon in a galaxy-wide war. What makes them even more terrifying is their almost fungal-like method of reproduction, spreading like an unchecked plague across the stars. Fueled by an insatiable lust for war, they are impossible to fully eradicate. And how they procreate and spread. The Orks' origins trace back to a race called the Old Ones, an ancient and incredibly powerful species that ruled the galaxy millions of years before humanity ever emerged. The Old Ones were master geneticists, and during their cosmic conflict with another powerful race, the Necrons, they sought to create various bioengineered life forms to serve as soldiers. Among these creations were the ancestors of the Orks, originally known as the Krork. The Krork were designed to be resilient, aggressive, and self-sufficient, capable of thriving in any environment. The Old Ones needed an army that could overwhelm their enemies with sheer numbers and brute force, and the Krork fulfilled this role perfectly. They were built to be a warrior race, deeply motivated by a primal desire for battle and conquest. As time passed, and the Old Ones were eventually driven to extinction by the Necrons and other cosmic forces, the Krork evolved and degenerated into what we now know as Orks. Though they lost much of their intelligence and refinement, their instinct for war remained unbroken. Orks now represent the twisted remnants of that ancient genetic engineering, still driven by their core function: endless warfare. They thrive on chaos, spreading across the galaxy like a plague, often not even caring who or what they fight, as long as there's battle to be had. What truly makes the Orks terrifying is their unique method of reproduction, which is closer to fungi than to typical animal biology. They are part of a larger ecosystem known as the Orkoid species. Orks do not reproduce sexually, but instead release spores into the environment. These spores can lie dormant for years, sprouting Orks, Gretchen, smaller Orkoids, and other creatures from their ecosystem once the conditions are right. An Ork, upon death or in favorable environments, can scatter millions of spores which drift and settle, embedding themselves into the soil of planets. Once germinated, they grow underground into new Orks, with no need for parents or any form of traditional procreation. This method of reproduction makes it nearly impossible to fully exterminate Orks from any world they invade. Even if a planet's Ork population is wiped out, spores from dead Orks can eventually grow into new Orks, restarting the cycle. This has led to a recurring problem in the Warhammer 40k universe, where entire planetary campaigns are dedicated to purging Ork infestations, only for them to return years or decades later, stronger and more numerous. The Orks also possess a unique psychological and metaphysical trait: their belief shapes reality. For example, if enough Orks believe a weapon or vehicle will work, it often does, even if it should logically fail. This is known as Orky technology, and allows them to cobble together machines and weapons from junk that miraculously function, simply because they believe it will. This strange interaction with reality further amplifies their ability to spread chaos and destruction. In summary, Orks were created as living weapons by ancient powers long gone, and they now spread like an uncontrollable infection across the stars. Their fungal-like reproduction and unique blend of savagery and reality-warping belief make them one of the most resilient and dangerous threats in the Warhammer 40,000 galaxy. Even when defeated, the Orks are never truly gone. They bide their time, growing silently in the soil, waiting for the next great whack to rise.